News 25 is brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-990 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
A man is transported to trauma following a plane crash, and a driver flees the scene of a vehicle collision. News 25 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 25 with Eunette Gentry. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Mercy Air lands on scene for a traumatic injury accident. It's Thursday, January 3rd. I'm Eunette Gentry. A man unfortunately suffered a severed foot following a crash of his ultralight aircraft today on the dry lake bed.
Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were dispatched to the dry lake bed 2 miles south of the brothels here in Pahrump off of Homestead Road for a report of an ultralight plane crash. The man, who is reportedly in his 70s, suffered an amputated foot as a result of the accident. Mercy Air 21 was added to the assignment and landed on scene in the parking lot of Sherry's Ranch to transport the individual to a trauma center in Las Vegas. California Highway Patrol and federal authorities will be investigating the cause of this crash.
2 pickup trucks crashed Wednesday night, causing one to roll in the intersection of Irene and Leslie.
A 2-vehicle accident resulted in one pickup truck rolling over at Leslie and Irene Street last night. Both individuals involved in the accident declined to be transported to the local hospital. The truck that rolled was flipped back onto the tires by the owners shortly after the collision in the intersection. Nye County Sheriff's Office auxiliary and deputies diverted traffic around the accident scene while the investigation was being conducted.
Passers-by jumped into action when a driver failed to stop after crashing his truck and trailer last night on Calvada Boulevard. The driver then allegedly pointed a gun at the witnesses, who detained him until police later arrived.
One child was transported to Desert View Hospital and a male driver of a truck and trailer arrested following a single-vehicle accident that occurred last night on Calvada Boulevard. The driver of the truck allegedly fled the scene after crashing into a wall and was followed by witnesses. The vehicle was reportedly losing parts and driving on a flat tire when the car stopped on Yosemite Street. Officials say the driver pulled a weapon on the witnesses, who were able to detain him. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies deployed their taser, and the individual was then taken into custody. The female juvenile, who was inside the truck at the time of the incident, was taken to the hospital by Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Ambulance.
And stay tuned. News 25 will be right back with much more local news just ahead.
KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Can Sears be saved? Angela Miles reports on that and more in today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, that Sears chairman Eddie Lampert is on a mission to save Sears. On Wednesday, Lampert detailed exactly how he will spend $4.4 billion to buy 425 Sears stores. A number of liquidators and investors are interested in buying parts of Sears. The auction is scheduled for January 14th. Well, after spending a staggering $850 billion on holiday gifts, the National Retail Federation suggests nearly 6 in 10 people plan to return or exchange unwanted presents. Don't dilly-dally. Some stores are tightening their rules on returns. Big news coming from Apple about holiday sales. The tech giant admits spending on iPhones and other Apple gadgets came in below expectations. Revenue for the first quarter is now expected at $84 billion compared to the predicted $89 to $93 billion. The CEO cited a shortfall in China due to the trade war.
Thanks, Angela. Now here's today's news across the Silver State with Deanna O'Donnell.
Couples looking to renew their wedding vows can now get a certificate of vow renewal from the Marriage License Bureau in Las Vegas. Every year, about 150 married couples come into their office hoping to find a document to commemorate the renewal of their wedding vows. The certificate of vow renewal states how long the couple has been married, the location of their vow renewal ceremony, and is signed and stamped by the clerk's office. The certificate is not an official or legally binding document. The clerk's office Marriage License Bureau issues about 80,000 marriage licenses annually and is typically the busiest in the nation. More than 80% of all wedding licenses issued in Las Vegas are for couples visiting here from other states or other countries. Couples from all 50 states and dozens of countries come here to get married. In 2017, more than 1 out of every 25 marriages in the United States took place in Clark County. Real estate marketplace Zillow has released a report that says that the Las Vegas housing market gained over $29 billion in 2018. Nevada, as a state, rose in housing value to $322.5 billion this past year. The Las Vegas market made up 69% of that total, or $223 billion. That value is still 10% less than it was at its peak. The housing market nationwide gained about $1.9 trillion this past year, making it worth $33.3 trillion. The city of Hawthorne hosted the Future of the Fallon Range Training Complex. Area residents were invited to find out more regarding the proposal to upgrade and expand the Fallon ranges for training, which would include renewal of current public land withdrawals, land range expansion through additional withdrawal of public lands and acquisition of non-federal land, airspace expansion and modifications and upgrades to range infrastructure. At the December 10th meeting, naval officials explained that they have not been properly training over the past 10 to 30 years, and this training would include air warfare, strike warfare, electronic warfare, naval special warfare, and joint forces training, expeditionary warfare tactics, and weapons courses. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. That's your news across Nevada.
Thanks, Deanna. Well, unemployment in Nye County is getting better, but it's unfortunately still behind the rest of the state, according to the Department of Employment Rehabilitation and Training. October's numbers report an unemployment rate of 5.5%. That's down from 6.7% in January, or a decrease of 1.2 percentage points. 16 of Nevada's 17 counties experienced a decline in unemployment in October over the same period a year ago. Esmeralda County's unemployment rate remained unchanged in October over a year ago numbers. Nevada saw an increase of 5,100 jobs added in October. Statewide, nearly 46,000 jobs were added from October 2017 through October 2018. That's a gain of 3.4%. And stay tuned, News 25 will be right back with the cutest feline and dog adoptions that are available right now.
News 25 is brought to you by William H. Jackson Injury Attorneys. Injured? Get Bill and Robin, your local injury attorneys.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, today we're introducing you to Frank the dog, who's available for adoption right now at Desert Haven.
Save a Pet is sponsored by Jim Marsh Automotive, Las Vegas.
Frank is a beautiful male gray and white American Staffordshire Terrier, approximately 7 years old, and was an owner surrender. He is medium-sized, and keep in mind that he does not do well with cats, but he is a very loving dog and is great with kids. If you would like to meet Frank or any of his other friends, give Desert Haven Animal Society a call at 775-751-7020. They are located on Seary Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. You can look them up on Facebook at Desert Haven Animal Society, or you can check them out on the web at deserthavenas.org. This is Peyton Kingston reporting for News 25.
The 116th Congress was sworn in today as new members of the most diverse Congress in history took their vows. Nancy Pelosi was named Speaker of the House once again. In a speech, Pelosi evoked the memory of former President Ronald Reagan as she promised to protect dreamers who are undocumented immigrants who were brought to the United States as children. The former president, who is now deceased, said once that if we ever close the door to our new Americans, our leadership role in the world might soon be lost. And now Josh Osborne is bringing us today's Great Computer Deals Tech Tip.
Reporting from my man cave, it's Josh from Pahrumph's own Great Computer Deals, and it's time for another quick tutorial. If you guys are like me, you like to keep up with the headlines, so you open up your browser, you're scrolling through, but there's a little bit of a problem, isn't there? It's that print. It's so darn small. Who could be expected to read that? Well, let's be honest, our eyes are not getting any better, so what do? Well, I got a nice little trick for you that you're gonna love. All you gotta do is press and hold down the control key on your keyboard, and while you're pressing that down, use the scroll wheel on your mouse to scroll up. As you're doing that, you're gonna notice that the print gets much, much larger. Way easier to read. Of course, if you want to go backwards, press and hold down the control key, scroll down, and it returns to normal size. Still need help? Come to our store where you'll find low prices and friendly faces. We're located at 1190 East Highway 372, or call us at 775-990-8833.
U.S. stocks dropped significantly today after Apple because of a weakening growth and trade tension in China connected to that company. Apple, among the world's most widely held stocks, plummeted 10% and fell to the fourth biggest public company behind Amazon, Microsoft, and Alphabet. The Dow plunged as much as 677 points, or nearly 3%. In late afternoon action, the index was down about 600 points. The S&P 500 lost 2.2%, while the Nasdaq declined 2.8% and flirted with bear market territory. And stay tuned, our weather is coming up after this break.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donahue. Today's highs: in Pahrump, 53 degrees, 55 in Amargosa, 62 in Death Valley, Beatty 54, Goldfield 46, Tonopah 44, and 41 and 42 in Fallon and Fernley. For tonight, 30 degrees in Pahrump, 29 in Amargosa, 37 in Death Valley, 27 in Beatty, 19 in Goldfield, 18 in Tonopah, and back up to 21 and 23 in Fallon and Fernley. Tonight in Pahrump, we're expecting clear skies, a low of 30 degrees, our average is 32. The sunset at 4:41 p.m., winds out the southeast at 5 miles per hour with 6 mile per hour gusts and 45% humidity. For tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 58, a low of 36, sunrise at 6:55 a.m., winds out the south at 6 miles per hour with 8 mile per hour gusts and humidity at 29%. Looking at our 7-day, Friday looks like it's going to be the last day of sun. We have some rain in our forecast. On Sunday, a 50% chance of rain, and on Wednesday, a 40% chance of rain. For high temperatures, a little bit has changed, really. We're starting to jump up into those high 50s to low 60s. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to get up into the 60-degree range, but really for the rest of the week, we're going to be in those mid to high 50s. For overnights, we're still going to be dancing around in those mid to high 30s, and then on Wednesday, we're going to jump up to 40. So with that, we throw it back to the desk with Eunette.
Thanks so much, Michael. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Eunette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you again tomorrow. Good night.